All right, today we are diving into a question that's, well, it's at the very core of what it means to be human. We're talking about the free will paradox. I mean, think about it for a second. You're watching this right now. Does that feel like a choice you just made? Or was that decision kind of inevitable? The results of absolutely everything that has ever happened in your life right up to this very second.
We all know that feeling, right? That powerful gut feeling of being in the driver's seat. Every day, we face countless crossroads, big and small. And the direction we take, it just feels like it's completely up to us. It's one of the most basic things about being a person. But that feeling crashes head-on into this massive philosophical problem. And that's exactly what the free will paradox is. It's the clash between our gut feeling of freedom and this other really cold, logical idea that every single event is just the result of whatever happened before it. And this is the absolute heart of the debate. On one side, you have your everyday experience that says, my choices are my own. But on the other, you've got this super powerful argument that says, nope, your choices are just the product of things that happen long before you even thought about them. So how on earth can both of these be true? So let's dig into that second idea first, the argument for what's called determinism. This is the view that maybe our feeling of free will is just a really convincing illusion, and everything that happens was always going to happen just like that. The logic here is surprisingly simple, really, just like a line of dominoes. First, every effect in the universe has a cause, right? Things don't just happen for no reason. Second, our thoughts and our decisions, those are effects happening inside our brains. So therefore, our thoughts must also have causes that stretch way, way back, far beyond our control. And look, we're not just talking about how what you ate for breakfast might affect your mood. No, we are talking about a gigantic, unbroken chain of cause and effect. It stretches all the way back through your entire life, your genetics, all of human history, the formation of our planet, literally all the way back to the Big Bang. And this leads to a pretty shocking conclusion. If determinism is true, your sense of choice is just not real. You couldn't have picked a different path in any given moment, any more than a falling rock could just decide to defy gravity and, float. Wow, that's a pretty bleak picture. So, what's the alternative? Let's flip the coin and see what happens if our choices aren't caused by past events. Does that finally give us our freedom back? So, this is the other half of the puzzle. To be truly free, a choice would have to exist completely outside that domino chain we just talked about. It would have to just appear out of nowhere, totally disconnected from anything that came before it. But see, here's the trap. If a decision isn't caused by your memories, your personality, or your desires, then what is it? It sounds a lot less like a choice you actually made and a lot more like a random glitch in the system, just a roll of the cosmic dice happening inside your head. And that really highlights the core issue here. Randomness is not the same thing as freedom. A random event isn't something you willed to happen. It's just a fluke. And that takes away your control just as much as determinism does. If your actions are caused, you're not free. If they're uncaused, they're not even really yours. It's a lose-lose. So we're stuck. It feels like we're completely trapped. Caused isn't free, and uncaused isn't a choice. For centuries now, philosophers have been desperately searching for some kind of escape hatch from this paradox, some way to make these two impossible ideas fit together. And they've come up with a few clever ideas. There's compatibilism, which kind of redefines freedom as just being able to act on your desires, even if those desires were already determined. Other folks look to the really strange world of quantum mechanics for an answer, or even to the latest findings in neuroscience. But here's the thing, none of these ideas really truly solve the fundamental paradox. For the most part, they just kind of shift the goalposts or change what the word free even means. They don't give us a clean getaway from the core dilemma. Which, you guessed it, brings us right back to where we started. That feeling you had just a few minutes ago that you consciously decided to watch this, was that really you? Or was it just the next inevitable link in that massive, unbreakable chain of cause and effect? The paradox is still completely unsolved. We feel like we're in charge, like we're deciding our own fate, but the cold logic of how the universe works seems to whisper that it might all just be an elaborate illusion. And it leaves us with this one final, unsettling thought. Maybe the choice was never really yours to begin with.